What's up, you primitive screwheads? This is my first episode of my Evil Dead cosplay series. In today's episode, we're going to be working on the Boomstick. The Boomstick is a 12 gauge double barrel Remington S-March top of the line, and today we're going to be making it out of foam, 3D printed parts, and PVC piping. I wanted it to open up like the real shotgun does, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time to completely make a mechanism for that. Even though I do try to do it in the video, it just ends up not working out, so keep that in mind. I hope you guys enjoy and follow along. You can follow my Instagram. I post updates and stuff there, also about my other cosplays, so make sure to check it out. And also subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions throughout the video. I'll try my best to answer those questions, but for now I'm going to send you off to the rest of the video. Hope you enjoy. So to help me make the 12 gauge double barrel Remington S-March top of the line, I decided to go ahead and outline all of this in Adobe Illustrator and then print it out. Something I always do is I make a little 1-inch mark somewhere just to make sure that when I print this out it matches exactly 1 inch, which it does. Now, for all I know, my dimensions might still be a little bit off, but for when I was able to see that the barrel is 30 inches long, so I based it off of that, and then I cut the barrel down. So I'm gonna go ahead and make about 75% of this out of foam, all except for the release here, the barrel, some of this area here, and the trigger, everything that's red. Now again, I'm not too sure what the dimensions are, but I'm gonna go ahead and make this part about 2 inches wide, since what I have for each barrel is about 1 inch, but I still need to make like the stock and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that out of foam. I'm just gonna go ahead and layer some 10mm foam on top of each other until I get 2 inches. I'm gonna cut out the basic shape, and then I'm gonna glue like half of it together and then add something to support it so that it's not flopping around. And then I'm gonna go ahead and sand it down until I get what I want. So here's something that I wasn't originally gonna do, but you can see here I have my 10mm foam here and it doesn't quite reach the end here. Now I can just put it like this, but I need 5 layers of this in order to make 2 inches. So what I thought is I might as well have it to where the end opens up. I'm gonna go ahead and I might as well just do that, I think. So using the belt sander and the Dremel, I was able to sand down and sculpt the basic shape of the shotgun here. Now, I'm sure that there's some details that I got wrong, and there's some details that I might be forgetting. I understand that, but this is just, you know, a little Halloween prop. So I did whatever I could. Now I need to do everything with the barrels. So I'm still 3D printing this piece here, and for the actual like barrels, you can see I have this PVC pipe. It is 1 inch in full diameter. The inside I have 3/4. I cut it down to 16 inches and then I sanded the walls just to make it, just to clean it up a little bit and also make it better for whenever I put primer on it. And then I have this 3D printed piece here. You can see the detail on the top here, and you can also see the taper that it has. So I'm gonna glue the PVC pipe onto this piece that I made. You can also see that it is 2 separate pieces because my printer wasn't big enough. 16 inches long, just glued it together. And then there's also a little piece here that the barrels can fit into, and you can see when they're attached it gives it a little bit of a taper to where this side is wider than this side over here. Now you can see on the end the texture that it left on the PVC pipe. I kind of want to keep that because Ash cut the barrels with a chainsaw. You're going to get some of that like crossing. So, and he didn't cut it all the way through. He cut it most of the way and then hit the rest of it off. So you can see at the end it's a little bigger there. So I'm gonna glue these together. I'm gonna go ahead and use just regular super glue here. I'm gonna go ahead and sand this end down. That's gonna be the end that's on the front of the barrel. I'm just giving it a little more texture, make it look like it was cut off with the chainsaw. So now you can see when I put these pieces together, there's a little cavity in there. I need to fill that in. I'm just gonna use some more foam. So I attached that piece of foam to the bottom side of the barrels. No, I did not put contact cement on the wrong side. I don't even know why you would even comment that. But you can see I've done that, and also I have this 3D printed piece here. This part attaches to the barrel here, and on this piece it goes right here. Stuff that in there, glue it in there. And you can see I drilled 2 holes in there. That way it could fit these neodymium magnets. So I have those, and I also drilled out that hole in here so that way I could glue the magnets right there in those holes, and then whenever this barrel closes, it'll close right in the middle right there, and it won't be like off to the side a little bit. Now I also think I'm gonna go ahead and add magnets to the bottom right here as well, along with the bottom of this piece here, just to help hold it a lot, because this isn't really heavy, but if I'm over here posing with it and then messing with it, it's gonna fall. So I'm gonna add these 2 magnets as well as 2 more magnets on the bottom here to help hold everything together. You can see this piece here is too straight. I need to curve it down. I'm just gonna use a heat gun to heat this up and then bend it down to the position that I need it to. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go ahead and do the final detailing and then plasti dip this piece. Now doing fine detailing is on EVA foam is actually pretty easy. You see right here where that crease is going across, that going straight down. Just line that up. You can see I have a line here that I used to have. I'm just making it parallel to that. Whenever I heat this up with the heat gun, that little line there is going to expand. And the deeper you go, the more it'll expand. Not by too much, but it is a little noticeable. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Pretty much, I shouldn't be eyeballing this, but I'm lazy. And then I'm noticing that I need to actually make this go in. So I have that line here for this little piece here. I need to continue that onto here. So I need to sand this edge down a little bit. And then I have these 2 circles here, which are just screws. Now I might actually add tiny screws, but I actually don't think that I have tiny screws. What I do have are these hole punches. So I'm gonna have to resharpen this, push it in and twisting it. Gives us a hole. I never even thought of that. That's pretty cool. Adding another hole over here. I'm really happy with that actually. And then we seal it with heat to close all the pores. And you can see when you apply that heat, it pretty much shrinks the foam a little bit. And you can see how that score that I made a really nice line in there that I wouldn't be able to get with like a Dremel. This hole here where everything pivots, I think I'm gonna add like a real piece there. So now I've heat sealed everything, but the seams here in between each piece of foam also opened up. So I'm gonna have to go in with some silicone caulking and some water, and then just fill in all these seams. I super glued those magnets in, and I marked where this fits onto this piece. Here is this half of the gun after plasti dipping the whole thing. I did about a whole can's worth of plasti dip on this. The first part that I'm going to paint on this half of the gun is the wood section. Now that the light brown is on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some areas with a black, and then after the black I'm going to go ahead and go over that with a dark brown. When I do the black, I'm going to go ahead and do little freckles as well. That's just me, you know, just sporadically spraying it all over this. And then the dark brown is going to fade the black a little bit so that it's not just, you know, regular black, because black really doesn't exist out in the real world. So now that the two pieces are pretty much done and painted, besides for some washes I'm going to do later, I'm going to go ahead and seal it with this Mod Podge. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach the trigger here. Here's this part, and I'm looking at a reference photo and I can see that it goes a little bit beyond the silver here. I'm going to use this piece to stick a hole right down here, and then have another hole over here. And I have this drywall screw here. I'm going to use that for the back hole back here. But then I'm going to add another screw to this piece here. So there's the trigger attached. Now I still have the holes for the pivot, and I made this little piece. It's just the regular threaded rod that y'all have seen before, but I've cut little flathead screw bits on the end. That way this could stick all the way from end to end, and you'll still be able to see it, and it'll look like it's meant to be there because it looks like a screw. Unfortunately, the barrel is too heavy for the magnets to hold on, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue everything together, which is fine. I kind of figured that was going to happen in the beginning, so I ripped out those magnets that were there, so saving for later. I'm going to go ahead and sand down the foam here to expose like the raw foam, and then use contact cement to glue them together, and then a little bit of this super glue on the 3D printed parts in the PVC to glue that onto this piece, and hopefully everything should be able to stay together well enough that ever just breaks off and it's easy to repair.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick. The 12-gauge double-barreled Remington. S-Mart's top of the line. Find this in the sporting goods department. That's right, this sweet baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Retails for about $109.95. It's got a walnut stock, cobalt blue steel, and a hair trigger. That's right, shop smart. Shop S-Mart. You got that? Now I swear, the next one of you primates even touches me.
There is my 12-gauge double-barrel Remington S-Mart's top of the line. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It feels great. Unfortunately, it's not 100% accurate to the one in the movies. I, unfortunately, was looking at the wrong reference photos. I was just so much in a hurry to get all this done before Halloween, so I didn't really take time to make sure that I was looking at the right stuff. I like the size, I like the look of it. You can see how well the glue is holding up. I did add super glue to the screws and where the triggers connect to the gun, and because of that I'm able to do tricks with it now. So again, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram. Please subscribe to my channel so you can see how this cosplay turns out. I have a bunch of other videos of other cosplays that I've done. And again, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments section. I'm gonna try to leave links to things that I used and things that I made in the description, so try to check that out. That's pretty much all I have to say for now. I hope you guys enjoyed and were able to follow along, and I'll talk to you guys later on the next episode or whatever I do. Goodbye.